So I watched a movie called Vindicta, and this is about a killer that is loose, and he's leaving these messages behind that are in Latin, and it's up to a newer paramedic for some reason to solve these murders or figure out who the killer is. She kind of just gets brought into it because she's a paramedic on scene. But it's very convenient, her association with this. Okay, so this movie stars Elena, I think that's her first name, Elena or Elena Kampouris, who I know from a show called Sacred Lies. She was also in that movie called Wife-like. It also has Jeremy Piven, as well as good old Samwise Gamgee himself, Sean Astin. And both of them, actually, the named actors, Piven and Astin, are in this quite a bit. Now, this is a B movie for sure. And the director of this movie, I think his name's Sean McNamara, he has done a lot of real quick to DVD type movies, stuff like Christmas, those Christmas type movies that they throw out there, that kind of stuff. So this is, from what I could see, he has like a good amount of titles to his name. But this seems to be his first real, foray into horror. And okay, this film is pretty dumb. It's very dumb. Let's be honest. Um, the thing it had going for it for sure was some of the kills in this were actually good. That was the highlight of the film. But this is just a first draft type script that would never get passed if it wasn't, being pushed through like these kinds of movies do. This is a super dumb movie. It has some super dumb moments. Very forced dialogue. There's like even a hint at like a romantic thing going on with Elena's character and another person, but like it's not fleshed out. Jeremy Piven plays her father, and they're trying to set up something emotional there. And the story, like the reveal of who the killer is and why, could be guessed by my dog. I mean, it's not even remotely trying to hide what the mystery is, even though it kind of tries to pretend to have a mystery to it. And then it has like a reveal, but you can guess what that is in 2 seconds flat. Another really weird aspect of this movie is that it kind of is trying to go for this vibe of almost like a dystopian future landscape of like this city overrun with crime. It almost kind of reminds me of like a low budget knockoff wannabe like RoboCop or something, or The Crow, where the cities are just kind of almost war torn, and the citizens are, there's like an upheaval going on, and there's just crime rampant. And but really we only focus on like this one single block, like this one single little location where a building burnt down. That's of course due to its budget, but we don't really get to see the rampant widespread crime. But it's trying to show that you can extrapolate that from that area to what the world looks like in that moment. So it is a very bleak future that is trying to portray, but I don't think that it has the budget to be super successful on that. But I thought it was an interesting addition, even though it doesn't really add much to the story outside of like the desired tension, I guess it's going for. But it just does feel very restrained to that area, which just doesn't make me fill in those blanks that it's asking me to, if that makes any sense. So, overall, it's too dumb of a movie with so much forced dialogue and drama that I just can't genuinely care. But I do think that this will have its audience. I just don't think that audience is going to be very large. As pretty as Elena Kampouris is, it's just not enough to take this film anywhere. It's a very, very silly movie that tries to have like these impactful, dramatic moments. Sean Astin and Jeremy Piven are asked to kind of take the lion's share of the dramatic moments because they are the more seasoned actors, so it makes sense. But the writing kind of hobbles them because there's not much that they can do with how contrived this feels. But that being all said, this is the kind of film that if you find your target audience isn't going to care, right? They're just going to take it at face value. They're going to be like, it's a B movie. I don't need to take it seriously. I'm just going to roll with it, whatever it presents itself as. And if you're that kind of person who can just sit back and not worry about the believability of something, or can look past forced dialogue and convenient plot devices and stuff like that, then you could have some fun in here, because as I said, the kills are fun. The forced dialogue can be kind of campy fun at times. So I didn't hate my experience with it. That's why I'm really taking my time to articulate this point of like, I didn't hate the movie, but I can't in good conscience say that it's a good movie. Right? Say it's not. It's actually a fairly bad movie, but it was more entertaining than other movies this year that I was told were quote unquote good or quality. So I don't think a film's quality is indicative of your enjoyment factor on it, for sure. So if you are someone who is more open to B movies and you're used to that kind of dialogue and whatnot, there is some fun to be had here, but man, it's dumb. Man, it's dumb. I did like the look of the killer. He is wearing a mask that makes him look like the sculpture that Da Vinci did of David. And I mean, how he could see through that mask, I was trying to look at the eyes, and it kind of looks like it has the ability, but let's be honest, any one of these movies that has a mask like this, it cuts down on your vision dramatically. No matter what you do to those eye holes, you're still going to have your peripheral vision is compromised, and you're only going to kind of have tunnel vision. And that definitely, that brings down your abilities quite a bit. Sight is important, but it's still a cool look. And I think that's, at the end of the day, all we care about as fans, as long as the mask is aesthetically pleasing to what our tastes are. We're not going to think about the mask logically. But I think I've said enough on this film. And if you want to check it out, it's on VOD. I would wait for it to drop in price a little bit, but that's up to you guys. Let me know if you watch it. Bye.